welcome back to Dadi SOS. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Mia.
Today, we are getting real about something a lot of students are curious about and maybe a little unsure about what it's actually like to study in Ireland.
Yeah, we hear a lot about friendly people, green landscapes, and also top quality education there. But what is the truth behind all of that? To help us break it all down, we are joined by a special guest all the way from Ireland to here in our KL office, who works closely with international students at TUS in the Technological University of Shannon. Welcome, Fiona.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be here today. I am Fiona 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿, and I am the Global Recruitment Lead at TUS Global. This is my first time in Malaysia and also my first time on a podcast. So I'm very excited to talk to you today.
Hey, welcome Fiona.
Welcome, Fiona. Yeah.
All right, so Fiona, what's one thing that students often don't expect about studying in Ireland until they actually arrive?
Okay. I think Ireland is known as a very, very green country, a very beautiful country. But to get those green colours, there's a lot of rain. So sometimes I think the weather can be a bit of a shock for students. And I think students, particularly coming from a hot country, our houses are built differently, which, you know, our houses in Ireland are built to keep in heat. And houses here and buildings in Malaysia is nearly to let out heat and to keep you cool. So there's actually differences in how you keep after your accommodation when you're in that type of weather. So it might seem crazy to an international student that in winter they should be opening their window to let in some fresh air. It might seem so counterproductive, but that's how I suppose houses and air and things like that work in Ireland. So there are differences like that, and it always comes down to weather. They're expecting the weather, they're expecting the cold, they're expecting the rain, but they're not expecting the knock-on effects of, you know, okay, I have a sniffly nose, what do I do? Or, okay, my window has condensation on it, how do I fix that? You know what I mean? So all of these things come with the weather. We actually have a really, really big orientation package that focuses on that, how students look after their accommodation in a different type of weather and a different type of climate.
Okay, that's nice. You know, talking about weather, when I had my visit in Dublin, I went around April, but I get you with the weather.
Yeah,
I get it.
Now, we are having, at the moment, a little heat wave in Ireland. I'm here in Malaysia and all of my colleagues at home are enjoying a lovely, lovely week of weather. When I say heat wave, it's about 23 degrees.
Oh, that's nothing.
But I can assure you, you will find it very hard to find a more beautiful country in the sun than Ireland. It's really, really fantastic. And if you're lucky and you're in Ireland during our couple of weeks of sun, I promise you'll agree.
Okay. So, next question. Are Irish people really as friendly as they say?
Yeah. Because Fiona, we are really nice and really friendly.
Like,
Yeah.
so far my encounter, they're pretty friendly.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was just going to say. I think this is more of a question for you guys. So as someone who's been in Ireland, how did you find, I suppose, just on your day-to-day walking through the streets, shopkeepers, bus drivers, did you find them to be friendly?
Actually, you know what? There wasn't any issue. They're so friendly compared to London people. I'm so sorry. Yeah, UK people are not really friendly.
We do our best to be very welcoming in Ireland. What about from your experience with me? Do you think that we're friendly people?
Yes,
Yes,
you are.
a bubbly
Yeah.
person, very
think-
easygoing.
Yeah, I think that's what comes across in a lot of Irish people. We have a welcoming in Ireland, which is 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿𝐿 Fáilte. And what that actually means is 1,000 welcomes. 100,000 welcomes. And that's kind of the vibe that you get when you come to Ireland. Everyone is welcoming. You come, get smiles in the airport. Your bus driver asks you how your day is going. Your taxi driver chats with you about how his day is going.
Wow.
That is Irish culture. And yeah, I think they are. Now, every country has their people. But the vast majority of Irish people will be very friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think that will be a cultural shock for Malaysians. Yeah, because we are not that type of person that will do small talk and ask
Yeah,
our
we're
stranger, how are your
not.
day? How's your day going? Yeah.
After 4 years studying in Ireland,
Yeah.
they get over it, I tell you.
Get over it.
But in their first year, absolutely, I can tell they come, they're a little bit shyer.
Yes.
You know, you ask them a question and you get 1 or 2 word answers, but by year 4, they're coming to see me and they're coming to tell me.
Great.
So their confidence grows, they get used to
Yes.
the culture. And I think that's a really, really special experience to be part of.
Yes, and I think that is really good because when they study abroad, right, it boosts their confidence also. They are more likely to talk to other people, share about their feelings instead of like staying in Malaysia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're encouraged to talk about their feelings there. Yeah.
And it's good that if you study abroad, it actually broadens up your perspective. You see
Absolutely.
things differently.
I always say to students, before you walk into an interview, you have the most powerful tool. You have the most powerful piece of information that you're an international student. That is, like, you've shown that you've invested in your future. You've risked a lot to come abroad and study. You have put your plans into action. You have been culturally flexible. You've been able to come into an environment and excel in it. Learning how to translate that into a CV and into an interview is one of the most powerful things that an international student can do, because that's going to set them aside from any other applicant when they're going through interview processes.
That's really true.
Yes, yes.
Take note, guys. Okay, so next question. What surprises students the most in a good way when they start living in Ireland?
I think how close Ireland is to the rest of Europe. So if you look at our 2 main campuses, we have one in Athlone, which is an hour away from Dublin Airport, and we have one in Limerick City, which is about 40 minutes away from Shannon Airport. Both of them have Ryanair flights. So Ryanair. Yeah.
Oh, Ryanair.
Yes, yeah. It's okay for, you know, an hour flight to, if you're ending up in Paris or Berlin or, you know, where all of our students tend to go when they have some free time. Because you, particularly for Malaysian students, are coming to Ireland visa free, you're also able to travel to Europe visa free. That is not something that all international students can do and take advantage of. So I think when Malaysian students come to Ireland and they realise, I can get a flight to Rome for 120 euros?
Yes.
Yes.
Because you're in the center already. You're there. Might as well just like travel around.
Yes.
Go like Belgium,
Yeah.
Dublin.
So
Yeah.
if your future plans include traveling and you want to see as much of Europe and that kind of surrounding area as you can, Ireland is the perfect base for that. It really, really is. Another thing that surprises students is you can get paid to go to other countries at TUS. Does that sound
Really?
interesting to you?
Yes, it
actually.
is.
So we, along with a lot of other of our Irish universities and European universities, have the Erasmus program. So if a student is studying with us at undergraduate degree and they have their placement, they can actually do their placement anywhere in Europe, or they can choose to do a study abroad in some cases in any of our partner universities in Europe, and they will actually get a grant from the university to support that. So they will be able to be paid if they're doing placement abroad. So say you have a student in international business and they get a job opportunity in Madrid for their placement. They will get paid by their placement provider, and they will also get a grant to support it from the Erasmus office. So they're actually getting paid to go and do more travel and to, again, get some more international exposure.
What?
That's
You-
actually-
would that have surprised you?
Yeah, that's good.
That's really great opportunities for international students actually. And there's a saying about Ireland is actually a key to Europe. And it's not surprised that a lot of our international students who go to Ireland for study abroad, they will often travel to a lot of countries. So let's hop into the academic truth. So what is the teaching style like in Ireland? And are students expected to be independent, or is there a lot of support for our international students?
Okay, so this is actually a really good question. I am actually a graduate of TUS. My colleague Pang, who you've met as well, he was an international student at TUS. So we both graduated, we've both experienced the learning environment, the learning techniques, and we can stand by them. At TUS specifically, you're going to get a very hands-on approach to learning, so very practical. It's very industry-led, so you're going to have a lot of exposure to different industries. You're going to have guest talks from industry leaders. You're going to have site visits. careers days, things like that, to give you a realistic approach to your program, to your area of study, and to your future graduate position. You'll see that in a lot of cases in Ireland, but particularly in the technological university sector. Very, very practical. You have your more research-driven universities then, which are going to be more theory-led. Obviously, you're getting the same level of education. It's just a different approach that suits different students. You asked me a second part of that question that I forgot.
Or is that a lot of support?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So with our international students, I've mentioned a little bit about our global student experience team. So when we talk specifically about Malaysian students, if they have an issue and they don't know where to go for the answer to that issue, they're not going to try. They're like, I won't bother anyone, it's okay. Having introduced the Global Student Experience Team as a first stop for all of our students has helped that so much, because students can now contact Greg or they can contact Owen and go, I'm in this situation. Who do I go to? What do I do? And they're able to tell them and guide them through. And in some cases, they're like, come to the office. I'll bring you to the office that you need to go to, and we'll go through it. So students are having difficulty in a specific subject and they need tutoring or they need some additional help, they'll bring them to the learning support unit. If they're having issues with maybe English, they'll provide them with more English classes. Whatever issue a student has, we will always do our best to get to the bottom of it and to provide them support throughout all of it. And that's not just from an international office perspective, that's a university-wide perspective as well.
Oh, that's really caring.
Can you not tell I'm a very caring person?
Yes.
It's one thing that I'm very passionate about working in TUS and international education is everything has to be student focused.
Yes.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for international students.
Yes.
We wouldn't have jobs. Our job is basically setting these students up for their future. That is our job. And to do that, we need to encourage them and make sure they're engaging in the supports that they need throughout their academic journey. So it's the most important part for me.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so next. What's one cool or unique project international students have worked on at TUS?
Okay. So we have, in November 2024, we had one of our engineering students, Dami, she's from Nigeria. She graduated, and on her final year project, she worked with an astronaut from NASA.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've tried to get my head around her project. Okay, she's a mechanical engineering student, so it's something to do with ventilation on aircraft. So it has something to do with the ventilation in aircraft and how astronauts interact with it.
Yeah.
Really, really big sciencey stuff. Fantastic student, first class honours degree, amazing. Actually was president of the International Society when she was studying with us as well. But yeah, I think just being able to go into an interview and say, I did my final year project with the help of a NASA astronaut.
That is
pretty
so cool.
That is so cool. And she's actually currently working as a graduate with Intel. So she's got Intel. Yeah.
Wow.
So she's
until
excited.
today.
Yeah, so that was November 2024. She had her job already before she graduated, and now she's in her first year. Yeah.
Is it in Ireland?
In Ireland, yeah.
Ireland, yeah. And I know that there's a lot of major tech companies in Ireland, and Intel is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Could you let us know, like, what is the other major tech companies in Ireland that provide job opportunities?
Yeah, if you could name any, I bet you I could say yes. We have Intel, Dell, we have Ericsson, which is telecommunications. We have, if we look at multinational companies, you have Meta, you have Uber. If you look at finance, we have Ernst & Young, we have Deloitte, every single big company you could think of, there is very likely an office in Ireland, and I'll tell you why. We are a very, very small country with a lot of external investment. We are seen as one of the most highly educated. We actually are now currently have been number one in the past couple of weeks, ranked as the most educated country in the world.
Wow.
which is really, really cool. So you have a multinational company, okay, and they want to set up a headquarters in Europe. So they're going to look for local language, a kind of universal language, local currency, and a educated workforce. So Ireland deals in the euro. We are the only English-speaking country within the EU. and we have a very highly educated workforce. So that's why these companies are coming to Ireland, setting up their industries, and helping us employ students all along the way.
Yeah, that's really cool. I actually heard about this saying. I'm not sure if it's true or not. They say a lot of these major tech companies, they set their headquarters in Ireland is because the weather is cool. That's why their supercomputer can put it in there.
You know what? It makes sense, especially if you're looking at these big data processing things where they need to like add coolant and stuff. It does make sense. I'm not sure that that's one of the main reasons why they do it. But Ireland is known as the Silicon Valley of Europe. That's how tech-driven it's seen, and how many IT companies are setting up there and investing in there. And it definitely is a much more cooler Silicon Valley than the original.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
really, really cool. So anyone that wanted to study computer science, remember to go to Ireland.
I can hands down say, if you're a pharmaceutical science student, if you're an IT student, or if you're an engineering student, Ireland is honestly the best choice for your education.
Yeah.
And the food's really great too.
Really?
Alright. Yes, it is.
Coming from a Malaysian, that is like a really, really big compliment, because the food in Malaysia is top notch.
Really?
I travel to a lot of countries with work, and this is my favorite food.
Oh,
Okay,
that's so
I
good to
think when
hear
I say
it.
like food is good, the desserts are really great.
Really?
Yes, the desserts.
Yeah, and I remember there's one of the questions I wanted to ask. What is one food that Malaysian students love and cannot handle? Maybe more than one.
See, they don't talk to me about their food.
Yeah, or maybe just like very unique food in Ireland.
Ireland food is what they would call hearty. Would you
Hearty,
agree?
yeah.
Hearty.
Yeah, hearty.
Oh,
So like
okay.
potatoes, vegetables,
Wholemeal bread.
Yes, all
Warm.
So some of the best food that you can get in Ireland is a home-baked brown, like seeded loaf, right?
I have the photo. I'll show you.
I know. With some like real butter and then like, just
avocado.
some soup. Like, did you say avocado?
Is it too thirsty?
So that is one of my favorite meals, but I can't say it's Irish avocado on toast. I love it. But with a nice bowl of soup, it's just so comforting. And particularly when it's cold out, it's really underrated, I think. It's like a hug in a cup, a nice bowl of soup with some really, really good Irish brown bread. That is really, really good. There is things like bacon and cabbage, which people would see as a really traditional Irish dish. I would suggest if you're in Ireland for at least a year or over a year that you try it once. I love it. It's one of my favorite meals. But other than that, it's a very good food, very good quality food.
Healthy food.
Yeah.
Maybe I went to the wrong restaurant.
No, it absolutely can be. I suppose there's a lot on offer in Ireland for different options, but at the core,
Fish and chips.
That's British.
you're going to go wrong side of the English Channel there. It's very, very good food, and you have a lot of options. And if, as a Malaysian student, you come to Ireland and there's no local options you can find that you're too fond of, there is a lot of Malaysian-style restaurants where you can eat from too. So, yeah. We have, our students will always find every time they come, particularly on our Athlone and Limerick campuses, there's a restaurant in each of them that they'll find straight away. And that's their, okay, I'm a bit homesick, I'm going to go and get
Asian
some food.
food.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, it's good that they have it there.
Of course we do.
I think there are a lot of Malaysians in Ireland nowadays.
Absolutely,
Yeah, a lot of
yeah.
students are inquiring about, I want to study Ireland. Actually, a lot in Malaysia. The demand is growing in
I think
Ireland.
that they prefer like Ireland more than UK now.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
Well, then
for,
they're
like,
making the right
inquiries.
decision. No, look, it's a different experience, I suppose. It depends. Every student is different. And the UK or the US or Australia is going to be the perfect choice for the perfect student. And
Yeah.
Ireland is going to be the perfect choice for another perfect student. It's another option for students, and it's a really, really great option for them.
Okay, that's great to know. All right, now let's move on like to the social sides. What's a normal weekday like for a student at TUS?
classes and study. That's what people come to study abroad for,
And
isn't
then
it?
what happened after class? Where do they go? How about the
So,
weekend?
If we look at a week in TUS, so you're going to have classes over maybe 3 or 4 days. If you're unlucky, they're going to be scheduled over 5 days. But sometimes you'll get them over 3 or 4 days. You'll probably have about 20 to 25 hours in class in your first couple of years. And then that will go down as you are expected to do a little bit more independent study. A lot of our students will then choose a bit of part-time work. They might do that 1 or 2 afternoons during the week and then over the weekend. In terms of free time, what will often happen is they will have students that are friends that they'll have met on our Going app. There'll have been students that they met at orientation, in their class, through their accommodation, that they'll have like a little group with. And they'll spend time with them. So whether that's going shopping, so, you know, there's amazing shopping options in near all of our campuses. Cinema is another Irish pastime that we like, so going to the movies. And just going, I suppose, hanging out with friends, having them over to their accommodation, traveling to Paris or Berlin if you're Malaysian and don't have visa implications. But it really is, as I've been here in Malaysia, I suppose, it's a laid-back lifestyle in Ireland, and I feel like in Malaysia it's a little bit of a laid-back lifestyle as well. I've really...
Laid back.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Ireland,
it
yeah,
is.
more
I'm
laid
glad
back
you
in
agree.
Malaysia.
I'm glad you agree. But I don't think there's crazy differences in what you would be doing afterwards, except for it's going to be colder, so you can't sit outside in the night.
Yes, agree. It's too cold.
But it really depends on the student as well. What will happen as well is in the first couple of months when you arrive, the Global Student Experience team are going to be organising so many events. You're going to be sick of hearing from them, you know. This weekend we're doing this day I'll be on the street and I'll see you, come for, you know, a chat and blah, blah, blah. And that really is so that we're helping students make those groups.
Yeah.
So then it comes to like November, December, and less students are showing up to our events because now they have their own group and they don't need us anymore.
I see.
Yeah.
But
Makes sense.
that's the aim. You know what I mean? We want them to have their friends that
Yes.
they meet, and they can go and explore Ireland, explore Europe, and just live their lives with the support of a little friend group.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. But have any like student like get back to you and mention about like stuff they really enjoy about like Irish cultures or festivals or local events?
So St. Patrick's Day is always
St.
a
Patrick's
winner. Yeah,
Yeah.
really is. So St. Patrick's Day is March 17th every year. And for the past 2 years, we've actually started to be included in the parade. So have you ever seen a St. Patrick's Day parade?
In the photos, yes.
Okay.
Very
So,
happening.
Yeah. So it's basically everything that you know about Ireland in terms of the music, the friendliness, the green, the leprechaun.
Is it touristy?
It is very touristy. But it's a really good experience for the students. We had over 100 students march with us this year. And they get to, you know, walk along in the parade whilst the streets are lined up with people with TUS on a banner. You know, we actually have Happy St. Patrick's Day written in all the different native languages on our banner as well.
Oh, was that in the photo, like in that presentation
Yes,
slide?
I will show you later. Yeah,
I was like
it's-
zooming in. Is that you? I'll show you later.
That is always a highlight, I suppose, because that is the epitome of Irish culture for some people. When they look at Ireland, it's, you know, St. Patrick's Day, the leprechauns, the green, all of that. So to be experiencing that is really big. And what we found is the first year it was hard to get people to do it, and then the second year when they saw how much fun the first year guys had it, they'll get involved then. Another thing that we really try and include every year is a 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿.
What's a 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿?
So a 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿 is a traditional Irish dance party.
Oh, like a dance battle?
It's like a jig, okay? But there's different types of the jig. But the whole experience, as we like to call it, is a 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿. So we'll try and do that every year around St. Patrick's Day, where we invite traditional dancers in with traditional musicians, and we'll teach students traditional Irish jigs. I don't teach it, just in case you're
But can you dance?
I take the pictures.
But have you tried?
I have tried.
Do you like it?
Yeah, and that's why I take the pictures.
At least you tried.
I tried. But again, just another really, really good experience. I'll never forget the first year we did that. And there was a student standing in front of me when we were watching the traditional or the kind of professional traditional dancers dancing. And a student was on FaceTime to her mom. Showing her mom that, because that is like when you think of Ireland and you see it in the movies and you do it's really, you know, the jig music and all of that, and that's what she wanted to share with her mom, that's what she was experiencing. And that's when I was like, okay, we have to do this every year.
Yes, when Fiona, you're talking about this, you're trying to convince me to go to Ireland. Yeah, I can actually picture it already. Like, how is it happening? How is it all green? Everyone's just dancing around.
I've promised the girls already that if they come to Ireland, I will bring them to see the cliffs of Moher.
Oh,
And I'll try and bring you to 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿𝐿. I can't promise 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿𝐿, but I will promise I will bring you to the cliffs of Moher.
It sounds so fun. Yeah, because a lot of people, whenever you talk about Ireland to them, right, the first thing that pop out into their head is, what else to do there?
Yeah.
Right? But whenever you talk about this 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿 thing, it's like, I can already picture it. And it's so amazing.
It's funny with Ireland because there is this image of Ireland that's the 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿 side, and it's the tourist side that people want to see. You know what I mean? And we have such a different side with, you know, the industries and the multinational companies. The really good opportunities for graduates, the education. Like, it's so mirrored, but it really does show you it kind of offers everything as a destination for students.
Yes, it is.
So we talk about that. And let's talk about like students, you know, getting like homesickness. How would you deal with it?
It happens every single year, and I'm not surprised. But you have to think about it, okay? So you're coming to a country that is, regardless of where you're coming from, if you're coming from Malaysia, if you're coming from the US, if you're coming from Nigeria, you're coming to a completely new culture. And in most cases, students are traveling by themselves. So they might have met a friend on the plane, or they might have met people at orientation, but all of the people that are familiar to them are still back home.
Yes.
They don't have as easy access to their local foods and things like that. And they're still finding their footing on where they can get a really good coconut rice.
You really like it, huh?
Yeah, I really do. So there's always going to be a couple of weeks where students are going to feel that. And also you're coming into the winter, so the weather is getting colder, and it's a lot. You have a new education system you have to get your head around. You know, there's so much. And I think sometimes we take it for granted how much of a change these students are going through when they arrive in a new country. And that's even a student that would be going to the UK, or the student that would be going to the US. So what we try and do is just engage them and try and connect with them as best we can. So we give a virtual webinar that's actually held by ICOS, which is the International Council for International Students, but it's called something else. But it is, it's basically an organisation that looks after the well-being of international students in Ireland in terms of legislature and making sure that at a government level there are things happening that are protecting international students. So they're really, really good, a really, really good resource for students to look into when they're studying. But anyway, they offer an online webinar about battling cultural sickness. Cultural sickness? Yeah.
Cultural sickness.
Homesickness?
Homesickness.
And cultural integration?
Culture shock?
Culture shock. That's it.
Yeah.
My 13-hour flight is still messing with me, guys. Culture shock and homesickness. And it just gives them little tips. And the little tips are, I suppose, don't lock yourself away. Don't ignore the problem. Go at it head first. Call the people you need to call. You know what I mean? Talk with your mom every day if you need to talk with your mom. Text your friend every day if you need to text your friend. That's fine. Make sure you let people know that you're struggling if you're struggling. That's why we have the Global Student Experience team. They're going to be on hand, you know. They're going to have the go-in group chats for people, you know. There's a night that you just don't want to stay in your dorm. You can literally just put into a group chat, anyone want to go get pizza? And then you're going to have people replying, and then hopefully that's going to make new connections. And the other student who was sitting in their room also feeling the same now has someone to go to pizza for. So I don't think there's anything anyone can do to completely eradicate it, because at the end of the day, the student is coming into a completely new culture and a completely
Yes.
new country. But all we can do is try and support them through it and try and offer them more ways to engage in Ireland and just keep their mind off it in those initial couple of weeks until they've settled themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
And another side, they have good Malaysian food out there.
We do.
Yes. So, yeah.
Okay, speaking about food and also budget. Budget, right? So what's a realistic monthly budget for a student?
Okay, so it depends. You know, you're going to have a student. So as per visa regulations, and I know we don't need to talk about visas for Malaysia, but for a student who's coming from a visa country, the immigration authorities will look for €10,000, and that will support them for the year. I don't agree with that. I think that's too low. I would be looking at least 12,000 for the whole year. That would look after their accommodation, their living expenses, their day-to-day, you know, if they have to get a bus or anything like that. But you're going to have students that are coming to Ireland and they really want to experience international education and international travel. And they're the guys that are going to Paris on the weekend and Rome over Easter break.
Yes.
And that's going to cost them.
Yes.
Absolutely. But if you are coming to Ireland and your intention to cook your meals yourself and do your daily shop or your weekly shop, don't do a daily shop, then I would think between 12,000 to 14,000 is probably sufficient to cover you for the year. The world is getting expensive to live in, and that's what we have found. Ireland hasn't escaped that, and Malaysia hasn't escaped that. I know from speaking with Pang. So, you know, costs are arriving, but it still is one of the more affordable destinations for students to come and study.
Yes. Actually, 13,000 isn't a lot, to be honest. Compared to other destinations, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
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 Like, I don't have
reasonable.
13,000 in my pocket right now, but
But if 13,000 per month, wow.
That's a lot.
per year.
What's something you have seen students gain from studying in Ireland that they didn't expect?
Confidence.
Yes.
It
Slowly,
is-
right? It's just like a
oh,
build-up.
It is. So it's hard sometimes, as I'm sure you know, working in international education, working with international students is easy, but it's hard working in international education because there's different time zones. You know, you have your phone, you have people texting you from all time zones at all hours, and your email inbox doesn't stop, and it can be crazy. And then you will see a student who you've known since first year, who came into the office in first year and were really, really shy and didn't ask questions and didn't like to engage. And then they come into the office and they are telling you that they're going for student union or international society president, and you know they're getting involved in this, and they want to put up a flyer to see if they can get students involved in this initiative. And I'm like, you have like change, you've like your confidence has grown.
Like, who are you?
Yeah, it is the most rewarding thing to be a part of. You know what I mean? And as an education consultant, as the university that they come to, we're all part of that journey. You know what I mean? So being able to see them coming into first year and then graduate and walking up on that stage with confidence and coming down and knowing that they've literally transformed their life over the past 4 years it's really, really special to see.
Yeah, it's a really great achievement for us also.
Yeah, I felt that too. You know what? My lecturer said that the same thing about me.
Yeah.
First
Really?
year, very shy. And then going towards my third year, oh, Nikki, you talk a lot. Yeah, I do.
And also, is there any student success stories that really stayed with you until now, other than the students that had worked with a
NASA.
project? Yeah, other than that one, do we have another success stories?
All of my stories are success stories. Do you know what I mean? If a student graduates from TUS, interviews for a job that they want and gets it, that's a success.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Everything is a success. Like, we have students working in Google. We have students working with Meta, in Amazon. All of these stories of students succeeding and doing what they wanted to do when they first came to Ireland, that is such a success. We've had students come to us at an undergraduate level and then go on to PhD, finish their PhD and then come back and lecture to US, which is crazy. It's like a full circle moment.
Yes.
Every single student has their own journey, and all of them are amazing in their own ways. And all that I hope from this job is that we can get them to that success point at some point in their journey.
Okay, I think I forgot to ask you this. Speaking about jobs, right? So, you know, if let's say you're a student who wants to work part-time while they're studying, especially for international students or Malaysians especially, what kind of job do they normally land?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think with Ireland, and this is regardless if you're an international student or you're an Irish student, it's the same job options are on offer for everybody. Where most of our students will find part-time job is in retail and in hospitality. So whether that's waitressing, bar work sometimes.
Okay, so it's same as UK then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then retail. So I know this year we have some students that are working in
like customer service retail.
yeah. So like they're working in Superdrug, which is like a Boots.
Oh, I
type
love
store.
Superdrug.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys have Boots in Ireland.
They're working in Zara, which is, you know, another retail, Dunnes Stores and Tesco, those type of things. And they're the kind of traditional part-time work. So yeah, very similar to the UK. Now, we do have a company in Ireland that takes some of our data analytics students part-time when they're working. So that's a really, really good opportunity for them because they get the part-time work in their actual industry, you know?
Yes.
So that's been a really, really good option. And sometimes where part-time job opportunities come up and the careers office is made available of them, we'll push them out to students. So yeah, it's very similar to the UK, but there's lots of opportunity for students.
Okay, that's great to know. So guys, please work part-time so you can go to Paris. Travel there, please.
Send us pictures.
Tag us, Dadi Education. All right, so last question.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, what is one piece of advice that you always wanted to share with international students before they head to Ireland?
This is my favorite question, and it is engage. Okay, so engage right now at this point of the journey with your emails. Read your emails, please. The amount of information that gets sent to students, and it's not even, you know, it's not asking for things or anything, but it's trying to give you the information you need, you know what I mean? So that you come to Ireland well informed and you know what's happening and nothing is going to be a shock. So make sure you're engaging with that. We send out a lot of information asking for, you know, when are you arriving? Do you need a bus pickup? Do you need, you know, we do try and make it as easy as possible for you. We can't do that unless you actually engage with the emails.
Yes,
so
yes.
engage definitely at this stage. And then when you arrive, engage. So engage with the international office, engage with your lecturers, with your fellow students, and with the services provided by TUS. So even if you're in first year and you have 3-4 years ahead of you, engage with the careers office in your first year and see what you could be working on at this stage, whether you need to develop your CV, whether you need to look at interview training, all of that kind of thing. If there's a module that you are struggling with, then engage with the learning support services.
Yes.
Engage with everything that's on offer to you. Clubs and societies, the International Society, and the Students' Union, like all of these things are on offer. And you just need to take that step and make sure you're engaging with it. So that's my top tip. Engage.
Yes. And in terms of the engaging, right, or you can engage with Dadi Educations, and us agents will help you to do all the things. We'll help you to arrange an April pickup, arrange...
You just chill.
Yeah. Arrange an interview with the admissions for you. Yeah.
We'll settle everything from you from A to Z.
Yes. And we'll read the emails for you. That's the most important things because we know.
As long as you reply.
Yeah, sometimes they will miss out, but us agents, we will never miss it out for our students.
Yes.
Yes.
That was really great.
All right.
All right. So that was such a great chat. Thank you again, Fiona.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
I feel like we really learned a lot today.
Yes. Yes.
And also the unfiltered version of Ireland. Yeah, so I'm sure students listening now have a clearer idea of what studying in Ireland is really like. If you want to know more about TUS or studying in Ireland, feel free to reach out to Dadi team. Or if you found this episode helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for listening to Dadi SOS. We'll see you next time.
Bye.